Bam! Jayson Waller here, True Underdog Podcast. That's a top 3 Apple podcast coming at you today. And I've got one hell of a badass show for you coming. I have got 4 of the best dudes in my business, my friends. These guys are regulators, they're ass kickers, they're motivators. They change the game, and they're here to represent PowerHome Solar and talk about why culture is key to success. I have got Elmondo King, baby. How you doing?
What up, baby boy? You said all that nice stuff about me. Say something about somebody else, baby.
Hold on. Yeah, baby boy, baby boy. All right, listen, hey, look, Elmondo's been a co-host with me on the Saturday show. I've got Joe Caban. What's up, big baby?
What up, baby? How you doing?
Joe's had a couple episodes with us. Andy did the Christmas special talking shit about my man, Kevin Klink. How you doing, Kevin?
Hey, appreciate you guys welcoming me back. Having fun here today. Looking forward to a good show, baby.
We had to wait for the Christmas thing to die down a little bit before we could actually bring you back. That's all.
Getting all kinds of hate out there.
And then I've got my main co-host who's been on many, many episodes with me, John LeBlanc. We can't see him right now because his camera ain't worth a shit, but it's his birthday. What up, John?
What's up? I see all you guys just fine. I don't know. I see myself just fine. I don't know what's going on, but you guys keep smiling. I'm smiling behind the screen. All right.
I'm going to start with you guys. We're going to talk about culture. I had somebody recently ask me, a friend of mine said, tell me about the culture at your company. Cause you know, her friend applied for a job here and is getting the job, but she was like, tell me about the culture at the company. Well, I can say whatever I want. Everybody hears me talk about it all the time. But I'm going to work my way from you, Elmondo, on top, and then we'll go to Joe, Kevin, and John. Talk about culture at PowerHome and why it's important for our success.
High energy, man. That's the best way to pretty much sum it all up. I think everybody's supportive here, which makes everybody feel like it's like a family vibe and all that good stuff. So meetings on top of meetings is how the leadership rolls here. And look, we take all the hype that you give us, we take all the hype that our leadership gives us, man, and we just trickle it down, bro. So it's just like, it's hype, man.
I love that. I love that. Joe, you're next, and then we're going to hear from our sponsor before we jump to Kevin.
I think Elmondo pretty much hit it in the head. I mean, the vibe here, just like the vibe here on this podcast, is how we are in person. This is not a show, right? When we get together, this is how we cut up. We talk about business. We enjoy each other's company. We feed off each other. You know, the energy. I mean, the executive team sets a good tone from up top with the energy, and it just passes throughout the whole. Whether you're a starter with the company or you're a high level employee, I mean, the vibe is just crazy.
I love that. All right, real quick from our sponsor, 20 seconds. Today's show has been brought to you by PowerHome Solar. It's time to own your power, not rent your power. Don't be left in the dark and start reducing those electricity bills. If you're looking for a career, visit powerhome.com/careers. Bam. Bam. Kevin Klink, tell us about culture and success.
Well, here's what I'll say. I think, it's all going to be on display soon enough for the world to see. But what we're doing over here at PowerHome Solar is special.
Hold on. You act like you just jump over that shit. Why are you trying to tease people for?
Come on now. We know what's going on. You know, soon everybody can be involved on whatever level they want to be involved with. But for the people here that are part of the movement, part of our BAM movement, I think what we all see, the thing that everybody has in common is that high energy, that excitement. You know, this is not just some job. It's not even just some career. I mean, it really is a cult, but in a good way. You know, cults are negative. This isn't a cult in a bad way. But the way
drinking the Kool-Aid, right? We're drinking the Kool-Aid.
They're willing to run through a wall. They're excited. We have smiles on our faces. We're having a good time. But at the same time, we're getting it done. You know, there's accountability at all levels through all departments. But you know what? You come to work and it's like, oh, man, look, it's already 5 o'clock. It's already 6, 7 o'clock because the time just flies by because we're having a good time doing it.
Ooh, I love that. That's great. John LeBlanc, baby. Look, by the way, you and Elmondo win for outfit of the day. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, Klink. Those two got the swag on. Look at that.
This is custom. You can't even find this.
I don't give a shit. Well, that's
custom, baby.
That's right. That's power.
Yeah,
you get second place. All right, go ahead, John. Talk about culture.
For that, JoJo.
So I was talking to someone about this the other day, and we base a lot of our culture off of winning, right? And winning, feeling really good, and it's hard because when we win as a kid, it's usually an event. It's a finite period of time. Business is infinite. It's forever. And that's sometimes a tough transition from playing sports where there's a quarter, there's a playoff game, there's an off season. There's no off season here. It's like sometimes our seasons overlap, matter of fact. Sometimes it's that hard. So it's an infinite period of time. And, I was just saying, hey, look, like, winning is, before we define winning, right? Because I think this is kind of what fits PowerHome. Understand that winning, it's not loyal to you. It doesn't care about you. It doesn't care how much sleep you get. It doesn't care how hard you work. Matter of fact, sometimes folks don't outwork us and they still win. But it requires all of us and then more. But it promises us nothing. There is this hope. There's this glimpse of hope that we all chase at the end of the month. We've talked about some events that might be coming up with PowerHome that are huge, but it can create setback after setback. And I was trying to explain that, the question really isn't about winning or losing. It's, with where we're at as a business is, are you willing to sprint when the distance is unknown? That was the question. So if not, then why do we chase this thing called winning? And that the answer came, it's because if we don't chase winning, the only thing that's promised is losing. And that's what you have to focus on is the ability to sprint when there is no end of the game, end of the season, or off season. That was my definition. I think that fits PowerHome really well because we have to do that.
No, I love that. Now, and, we got a great dynamic here on the show. We've got Kevin, who I met in 5th grade, is one of my best friends, co-founder, business partner. We've got Joe Caban, who's one of my best friends, is like a brother to me. And we met on a video game 18 years ago, right? We've got John LeBlanc, who is my trainer, who's been with PowerHome in a short period of time and now is a director. And we've got Elmondo King, who's been with us how long?
3.5 years, dog.
3.5 years and is also in a director's position. So let's talk about the growth of where we've been. And I'm going to shoot to you first, Joe. You've been with Kevin and I in multiple companies. You've seen us build businesses. You've seen us be successful. But talk about the difference between PowerHome and companies of the past.
With the alarm company, it was a good company. Don't get me wrong, but there wasn't a level of growth there. I mean, you did one thing, and that's pretty much what you did, and you stuck to it. For example, this, and when I came to Solar, I started doing inside sales. Since then, I've been here. October would be 5 full years since I've been here, and I've had 4 different directors positions since I've been here. That's 4. So the growth is amazing. You become a director. I became a director pretty much after my first year. Every year after that, doing something different and just touching different aspects of the business. I was able to do a lot with the whole customer service aspect of everything and help building that infrastructure, making that better. Now I can put my imprint on sales in my own way now. So it's awesome. I'm grateful, and it's just a great opportunity, man. If you don't get on board now, man, don't be sorry when you don't jump on board. Like Kevin says, when you get that opportunity, you got to jump on board because we're like a freight train, dude. We don't stop.
Kevin, I'm going to go to you next. That's good, Joe. What do you think the difference is with the culture here and the companies of the past?
I mean, Joe nailed it. But really, I just want to say, one big difference is the industry that we're in this opportunity, and the fact that we found a way to really capitalize and scale this thing at some next level numbers. Right now we're sitting at 4, 5, 6, depending on what reports you look at, for being the largest residential rooftop solar company in the nation. And we have plans to reach number 1. In this industry, in this time period, at this company, there might never be anything that ever happens ever again at this level with any type of industry in what we're doing here right now. So I think with where we were, we saw the writing on the wall. It's time to get out, time to move on to something. And, I think that we've been able to build through people like everybody on this call here today, on the show today. This is what we have. We have people that are just willing to build and grow, and, love hearing stories about it. And Joe, I didn't realize it was that many. I know you've done everything here. I didn't realize we were up to that many, though.
Joe is the universal soldier here, dude. He does everything. All right. So Elmondo, we'll jump to you. We talked a little bit about culture, your growth with PowerHome. Talk about how long you've been here and some of the dynamics of what you've seen change along the way as you've grown and how fast it took you to get to your spot.
So 4 times I got promoted. I'm going to repeat that 4 times.
And how long you been here?
3.5 years.
Now, is
man.
it faux like this, or is it faux like this? Okay,
F-O.
just checking.
Like
okay.
faux Sachi, you know, you spell Versace,
Yeah.
faux Sachi, faux.
Like
faux
faux
times,
Sachi.
man. Nah.
Hey,
no.
bro, man, on the faux faux. Remember
On
that?
the faux flow, bro. On the
Yeah, I
faux
remember-
flow. My man Martin.
I love that.
man. But no, seriously, bro. Being here 3.5 years and starting off as a sales rep who first didn't have any sales experience. They picked me up from a restaurant and brought me in here. So that tells you, man, you got career salesmen on this call. Like, I'm not even a career salesman, but you guys trusted in me, gave me a job. I was the sales rep for 7 months, got promoted to a ADM under Jason Cassidy. I don't know if any of you guys met him before, but great guy. Then got promoted 3 months later to a DM position. Then a year from then got promoted into a RM position. Then a year from that got promoted into now a regional director, man. That kind of growth just doesn't happen, especially for like a young guy like myself, man. And
Man, you ain't that young. You act like
Hey,
you're like
man.
25 years old, man.
ever since I got this ring, I feel 25 years older, baby. Just got married, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You heard? But nah, bro, like it doesn't matter. Like you can see it just from this call to diversity, man. Like it's so diverse here, man. That's just the way it is, bro. Like, I mean, and we all can cut up, we can all crack up, we can all have a great time, man. And you guys.
Well, hold on. You're talking about diversity. Is Joe not the whitest Puerto Rican you've ever met?
Oh, absolutely. He look his credit score look good and bad at the same time.
How do you mean, sir?
See? I just want to say he's got the tattoo and everything, and I'm like, dude, are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah, there it is. But hey, isn't it great? The diversity here, the love for everybody. We're PowerHome family, and I think that's a big part of our culture and the way we grow and how we develop leaders like yourself that come in and just earn it. It doesn't matter about other things. It doesn't matter about your gender, your race, your thoughts, your politics. We don't give a shit. You love PowerHome. You love what you do. You've got opportunity, right? Even if you've got a tattoo of something you're not, like Joe, you still got opportunity.
Even though I'm a liar. I lied my whole life. My whole life's been a lie, but I got a great job and a great career right
By
now.
the way, that's true. He found that out recently. He had the me23.com, found out he only had a little bit of Puerto Rican in him. He thought it was like all Puerto Rican.
Bro.
It's like 20%, dude. I almost got more sub-Saharan African in me.
Whoa.
Yeah,
What?
I got like 13% sub-Saharan African, bro. That's crazy, right?
I wonder if I did a 23andMe, what would I be?
You need to do it. Hey, nobody's 100% anything. Remember that. Nobody. So we talked about culture. We talked about why it's the key to success. I'd like to talk about struggles, right? You know, when we had the pandemic as a company, there were a lot of disagreements at the executive level. Kevin remembers those calls. We would get on a call every hour on the hour with attorneys, with jurisdictions, with health departments, trying to figure out, are we a business that can stay open or not? You know, what is the criteria? What do we do for the employees? Do we look selfish if we stay open? Do we stay open because they need to make a paycheck? I mean, it was a tough decision. And, you know, ultimately, you know, the story, you know, it's been told many times. We elected to go off of payroll, and we elected to stay open for those that needed to work, and those that didn't, they can go home and get their vacation and then be you know, inactive, right? So Joe, mute out when you're not talking. There you go. Joe's got lots of babies, like 7 kids. So don't judge him. So, and that's okay. My house, he used to call my house when he had 1 kid and be like, dude, your house sounds like a circus. Now I call his house. I'm like, dude, it sounds like Barnum and Bailey is there. I hear everybody and everything.
That's only 1 kid too. It's just 1 kid. That's it. 1 kid.
By the way,
Sounds
that's my favorite kid, by the way. So just
it
so
is.
we're
You
clear.
can tell who that is, by the way.
All right. So, but you know, we made that decision, and in our country where it felt like people were divided, it felt like you were divided by politics, you were divided by beliefs, you were divided by this pandemic. I felt PowerHome really bond and come together. We'll start with you, Kevin. What do you think really happened there, and how proud were you of how we came out of that?
Well, look, first thing I would say about those times, there's times that I actually miss those times because of just what you're describing. The way everybody came together at PowerHome, you know, I know there was a lot of divide in the country, but you know what? A lot of folks came together. Families came together. It was a real kind of quick checkup on what real priorities are. And I think one thing that was made very clear by our team at the executive level down was that we have to take the stance of finding a way to stay open. We have to just continue on and do whatever we can to stay open, because so many people do depend on us. And at that time, a lot of folks, they wanted the security of knowing that they could get solar and they could get battery storage and things that were in question at that time, whether they'd have food that they could keep, in the refrigerator. So I think for us, looking back, it was obviously a great decision, seeing how, from the executive team, obviously that was a no-brainer, went off payroll. We saw a lot of folks in the company take discounts on their pay just to help get us through.
A lot of the sales guys, Elmondo and his guys, like John and his guys, like they all said, hey, look, like, we're going to surrender some of our commissions because we want to make sure we can stay open for Lucy, who's got to put food on the table, and Mike, who's got to pay us rent. Right. It was important. We bonded together. We didn't ask any of them to do that. They came forward and said, we want to help our PowerHome family out. I get chills talking about it because it's an amazing story. That's really what we're about.
Yeah. And no, it was just impressive to see. And I'm glad we came together the way we did. I'm glad you've obviously pushed on, we've got to do it. Because there were times I remember a day where Jayson, he was asleep. It was like 6:30, 7 in the morning. The decision was a quick one that was made by the rest of the team, and it turned out to be a hoax. It was a bad decision that cost us a lot of money and cost some people their jobs. And I lost my shit. And I said, you guys are never making a decision like that without me again. I was done, because it was, in fear. With leadership can't show fear. No. You guys all following the lead. We're all leaders on here, and you can't show fear to your team. The moment you show fear, they're going to crumble. And at that moment, the decision made showed fear. And I was but we overcame that. But it was disappointing that day. We had to shut down an office, which then led to another office freaking out. And it was all a hoax. And we lost a lot of good people freaking out. And it was a mess, but you learn from it. And what I've learned over this is when you're a leader, you got to be cool, calm, and collective. You got to be Tom Brady under the snap, down 5, 12 seconds left, 28-yard line. Like, that's what you got to be. You can't be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? The team will fall apart. Elmondo, talk about how we came together when the world was so broken and what that meant to you.
Yeah, man. I was like you mentioned before, I was on that call when Kenny had to call us and say, like, it was tears all over the place. Like, we were all crying. Like, if you think about it, when all this stuff happened, I was in the middle of closing on a house, right? And I closed on my house the same month that the pandemic happened. And I was scared, man. I was scared as I don't know what, man. I was petrified. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was talking to my now wife, and I was just like restaurants are closing. Like, that's what people go to every day. People got to eat. Like, what do you think's going to happen to our industry? I was like, dude, it's going to close. And when I found out that we weren't going to close, and the tenacity to drive you got behind you, bro. And I was like, what? We're going to go for it? We went for it, man. And of course, I gave up a little bit of money, but this is the most money I've ever made in my life, man. I was willing to give that up for the rest of the employees here at this company, man, because that's how we grow. That's how we stay a family, man. It just brought us all together in the aspect of, look, man, money isn't always everything at the end of the day, man. Like, just having this opportunity, having this career, it means a lot. We can't take that stuff for granted. And also, it showed me personally that if I ever needed anything, that this company is going to step up to the plate, and this company is going to take care of me, man. Like, it removed all doubt.
Amen. I love that. I love that. Joe, what about for you, man?
I think for me and a bunch of other people, especially the people that worked for me, I think when you guys took that pay cut, it showed everybody that we're not the typical $1 billion company, right? A typical large company that just doesn't really care about their employees. You guys could have made the easy decision and said, you know what, let's shut down for 6 months, see what happens.
And by the way, it was split. Our calls, it was split. And I made the decision, we're not doing that. It was arguments. And I can never reveal who wanted to shut down and go furlough, but there was an argument. It was literally an argument, and we had to make a decision. But go ahead.
And it wasn't, and I know it was a tough decision for you guys, but then the total opposite happened. We started to grow. And that's like, we were worried about shutting down to the point where you remember how many employees we had back then?
750. And we ended last year with 1,800 or so. No, well, I'm sorry, with 1,200 or 1,100. What did we end with, Kevin?
I can't remember the end number. I know we entered into it with 750 in March.
Yeah. And right now we're at 2,200 employees. So yeah.
But you
We've
just say it was
tripled in size.
1,200. We still added 500 bodies before the pandemic was even over, right? So the total opposite happened, and that's just a testament to you guys. You guys kept the door open. You had a vision, obviously. You've always had a vision. There's times where you didn't know where you would keep this open in the beginning because you were losing money. So it just revolves around the decision making you guys have made to keep this business afloat. So a testament to you guys.
John, tell us what the pandemic meant to you.
Similar to what Mondo was saying, guys, I was in the health and fitness field for 10 years, and I spent all of my life being and becoming the very best professional that I could in that field. So for me to take an opportunity that was in the solar business, because I happened to know somebody that was in it and making a huge movement and a huge push. And I loved the culture that he was telling me about internally. So I was intrigued. Before pandemic, I took this opportunity within PowerHome, and it was a faith-based decision, that led me into the right path, because you guys know that the health and fitness industry completely collapsed shortly after I left, and we've been able to make it work. My wife still does it, and she's been able to make it work, and she does her thing, and she's awesome at it. However, this was a great move for me, and it continues to be every single day that I work here. And it's mainly because of the folks that we get to work with. That's the reason, guys. And I encourage everybody to take that leap, because it led to nothing but great things for myself.
That's really good. So what I love most is everybody's got their version of what like what it meant to them. That's the kind of what I'm talking about. Culture is the key to success. You know what? PowerHome, everybody's got a voice, but everybody's not about themselves. They have a why that's bigger than themselves. You heard that, right here with all four of these gentlemen and myself talking of what's important to them. And it was important helping somebody else out. It was important to have faith to get through things and get excited about something. It was important to see the vision and go through it. It was important to bond together. I mean, all of these are elements that the listeners and viewers out there can take to try to be successful. And it doesn't happen overnight. But you got to surround yourself with great people like these guys that can really bring their A game every day, but they have to all believe in something similar. You have to have a why that is bigger than yourself. So I'm going to go to you, Elmondo, first and say, what is your biggest why at PowerHome?
I want to retire my mom, man. The first paycheck, I got my first paycheck. I remember this. Can I say the amount?
Hell yeah.
I got my first paycheck, right, as a sales rep. It was $14,000, right? Probably about $9,000 after taxes. But my mom, I remember, man, I was like, dude, I'm going to do something for my mom. I'm going to do something special for her. She raised us, all that. I'm going to do something. It ain't going to take care of everything, but I'm going to do something. She owed $5,000 on her car, couple of $1,000s on some furniture, some medical bills. And I took that entire check because I was so damn confident. I was like, dude, I'm gonna run this back. If I could do this in 2 weeks, I'm gonna run this back. So I took that entire paycheck, man, and gave that to my mom, paid off all that stuff. And look, I got something even bigger in store. I had to get my own house first through this company, got a brand new car sitting out in the front yard, bro. I never seen a money truck chase a hearse, baby. So you gotta spin that, baby. I ain't never seen that before. But for the most part, man, that's my why, bro. It's just I want to retire my mom. She's in a position where she can't retire. I'm gonna make sure it happens, bro.
You're a good man, Elmondo. I love that. Okay, Joe, what's your why at PowerHome?
My wife and kids, man. I was actually talking to my wife about this yesterday, last night, actually, what why is and why she always questions. She always says I work hard. I work very hard. And why you work so hard? Because I grew up with nothing, zero. I would never want to put my kids and my family in that position ever. I will work 2 jobs. I'd work 23 hours a day, 24 hours a day to make sure they never have to feel hunger or worry about what if we have enough money for them to go on a field trip or any kind of that kind of stuff. I don't ever want them to worry about that. So that's my why. And Elmondo touched his mom. My mom's always my why too. So trying to get her to move down here and buy a nice little place and take care of her as she gets older. But yeah, the family, man, it's always the why.
I love that. I love that. John, we'll go to you. What's your why at PowerHome?
My why is always falls back on the people that I work with. The why is being able to go and work side by side with a bunch of great folks within PowerHome and build something cool together. I could, certainly make a living for my kids and my family. I'd figure it out, right? But the coolest part for me is being able to work side by side with some awesome, amazing, talented folks inside of PowerHome to externally impact our customers in a positive way, to also externally impact the world and the environment in a positive way. So for me, that's my why. It always falls back on teammates and just being a good teammate. That's kind of what I try to take pride in. I know everybody inside of PowerHome tries to take pride in that as well, but that's my why.
I like that. Kevin Klink, Chief Marketing Officer. What is your why?
CMO.
CMO. Hold on. Elmondo, what does CMO stand for to you?
Calling me always October. I don't know, bro. I couldn't tell you.
All right, go ahead, Kevin.
Well, look, mine's going to be a combination of what I've just heard because,
that's a weak response, but that's fine.
No, I'm opening with that, baby. Trust me, you got to leave the mic on me for a sec. I'm going to give it to you. Okay, here we go.
By all means.
Here it is. I will say that, of course, with my mom and dad, I want to make sure they're taken care of. So I like that. Of course, that is definitely, I'm on that same page too, making sure they're taken care of. My kids and wife, fortunately, we've been blessed to be in a situation where that's already taken care of as far as, we're in good shape there. But what it comes down to today for me and my why at PowerHome is just what John alluded to. We are in an industry where we're taking care of customers and saving the world and doing the right thing there. But there's 2,200 reasons why I show up to work every day and why I do what I do every day and push myself and know what the big plan is. And that's because there's going to be opportunities for 2,200 people to either take advantage of some sort of event that we're going to provide for them, that all of you guys in this call are going to provide for them, which is the opportunity to really take advantage of something big. So.
Well, you kind of stole my thunder, but that's okay.
I knew you were going to go there.
I had 2,200 reasons, but I'm going to say we all know it's family. We all know it's our parents because that's why we're here. We all know we give grace and goodness to God, and we all know that it's teammates, right? We get that, and we all know it's our employees as our foundation. 2,200 reasons why is exactly right. But I'm going to go pretty basic. I'm going to say my why is the movement. My why is to change the world. My why is to change the industry and put it upside down to evolve to be the biggest, the best, fastest, most helpful solar company, renewable energy company out there to just elevate everybody in our business and to change the world. I don't want to ever limit us to just being the biggest and the best. I want to change the damn world. I want to make things completely different than it is today. And if that means we keep growing employees and we keep growing states, and that's what gets it done until we can find a way to not depend on oil. We have electric cars going. We're able to provide renewable energy. People are able to provide for their families. Customers are able to save money and protect their power and own their power. Those are the reasons why. So it goes back to BAM, building a movement. One customer, one employee, one panel at a time. That's really my biggest why. That's kind of our mission. So I get excited about that. Now we're going to wrap up with some small talk back and forth to kind of share some of the culture. And with that, I'm going to let Elmondo pick on everybody. Then I'm going to let Joe pick on everybody. And the other three of us, we're not as funny as you two. But Elmondo, talk to me about John LeBlanc first.
Oh, yeah. Look, bro, John is one of my favorite Frenchmen and the only Frenchman that I know. I still don't know where France is, but look, I still love you, John. Joe, he looks like, what, Joe, you lucky this coming off the head. You look like a retired busboy. You look like somebody. Joe looked like he used to take the food off the tables and take it in the back and box it up and take it home. Kevin Klink, boy, I'm about to get on you right now. I'll come. Charles still in the room?
No, he's gone.
Well, get somebody to come in there and rub their head and tell me my future, baby. Hey, look, my man Jayson Waller over there. Look, I can't get on you. I'm going to get fired, dog.
Get on me, dog. Go ahead.
Hey,
I can handle it, dog. I can handle it. You got a free pass. Let's go. Bring it. Bring it.
You got them reflector glasses on, boy. I don't know if you try to tell somebody what to turn into that driveway or what, man. No, let me stop, man. They look like little Jolly Ranchers.
They're actually preventing the LED lights from burning my retina. Go ahead, Joe. Look, Joe's got some too. He knows.
I actually have the same pair, your blue light glasses. You know, that's what they are.
So does Clank. Look at that.
You know, gunners,
now watch.
baby.
Hey, by tomorrow, Armando and John LeBlanc will have their damn glasses.
Yeah,
I got mine. Yeah. They in there.
These are they're just clear. These are just clear.
Yeah. I'm glad Armando found us because he's not athletic to be a black guy. So I don't know. I don't know where he would be right now.
By the way,
he can't play any fucking sports.
Hey, but he thought he could do push-ups, and I waxed that ass.
You cheated.
You probably saved that man's life, Jayson, for being in jail or something. You could have been a stick-up kid or something.
He got arms like a T-Rex. Talking about he beat me in. He like, so yeah, bro, we gonna do this push-ups or what? What's the deal, bro? We gonna do these?
He told me, hey, you know what he told me? He said, short lives matter, man. That's why you beat me.
He went like this, 50. I was like, what the hell? You ain't doing nothing, bro.
Motherfucking Waller show up on the basketball court with the Space Jam 7s on. These niggas fucking Armando took them shits too. He probably got them on right now.
Oh shit!
I couldn't wear them, bro. I couldn't wear them.
John LeBlanc is one of my favorite people. I mess with John LeBlanc all the time. He said he's the whitest guy you would ever see. He looks like Clark Kent with the glasses on. Like I said, he looked like he just audited 2 or 3 people and ruined their lives. And he's excited about it. He's happy he just ruined somebody's lives from a tax standpoint. And Kevin Klink, man, love Kevin Klink. It's like a fucking extraterrestrial, though. Get that fixed. Little fucking get that fixed, bro.
E.T. phoned home.
The older you get, the more extraterrestrial you look, bro. Motherfucker look like Mac and Me. You need to Google Mac and Me and put a suit jacket on the motherfucker, and that's Kevin Klink.
Motherfucker built like a Charlie horse.
Oh my god! Oh jeez!
Oh shit!
Man. What about me, dog? You got something for me?
He's like, nah.
Should I even?
Everybody's scared.
It's just hard to. I'm not scared to. I go on Waller all the time with your different color mustache and shit, looking like a fake ass Hulk Hogan, looking like you was in the you tried out for Color Me Bad in the '80s and you got kicked out.
Oh my god!
Because you couldn't fucking sing or dance, you non-coordinated motherfucker. You ever seen Jayson Waller try to do the motherfucking what's that shit called in the video? What's that shit called in the commercial? You know what I'm talking about? The floss. You ever seen him try to do the floss?
Cleveland.
Yeah, it fucking looked like he forgot how his arms work. He forgot how his arms work.
How you gonna do that with this, man? How you gonna do that, man?
Yeah, y'all ready to walk? You ready?
Oh, jeez. I'm glad you guys are having fun.
That's the joke now.
I'm glad you guys have.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Bam!
Hey, I'm fucking all of you up, okay? All of you. Hey, King Kong ain't got shit on me.
You got the arm size of a woman gymnast.
Oh my god. My arms are look.
Aren't you going to be boxing, Oscar?
I'm gonna try. All right, Kevin, you want to make fun of these guys? Like, I got nothing, man. They let the can out, dude. I'm done. What do you got, Clink?
God didn't give me that talent. I'm just not good at this. Dude, these guys are great. I'd pay for this. I don't have anything.
John?
John's got nothing on them. I mean,
yeah.
I've got soccer practice.
You gonna let us go at the Christmas party?
Right, yeah, I'm gonna let it go at the Christmas party.
You gonna let us loose? You gonna let us loose at the Christmas party this year?
I don't know, man. We got to be careful. There's some things you just can't say, dog. We're in a different world now. We're in a different spot.
We have to ask about that.
Yeah, you guys hurt some feelings like a couple years ago, man. People were like telling and shit, like, "Hey, man, can they not make fun of people no more, man?" Like, what the hell, man? We're having fun.
Hey, we need to select certain people and just have them sign a waiver and say it's okay.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
That's basically what it is.
That's right.
People we know we're not gonna hurt their feelings, that enjoy a good laugh, that don't mind, and let them sign a waiver. And we just work on some material until that comes. You know?
I love it. Well, listen, I love you guys on our team. I love what we're all doing together. I love that we're building that movement. I love that we could share our culture here at PowerHome with millions of people out there listening and watching. And remember, you can always apply for a job here. We're always looking for great people to really make a difference and be part of our team. You go to powerhome.com/careers. apply. We've got installers, sales reps, customer service, concierge, admins, payroll, accounting. We've got jobs everywhere. We got 2,200 people right now, and we want to get to 5,000 people. I appreciate each and every one of you guys very much. Love you guys. Be safe. Bam!
And that concludes another episode here on True Underdog. If you're interested in hearing more, make sure you subscribe at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the YouTube channel. You can always visit TrueUnderdog.com, subscribe to all of them. Make sure you check out our newest episodes coming out on Mondays and Thursdays. True Underdog, baby. Bam!